going to move up. And if I can use that as a starting point for Pasahudi from NU, of course, NU is one of the oldest and most respected institutions in Indonesia. You have 85 million members spread across the country. Your founders fought in the battle for independence in Indonesia, so you have a rich history. But is NU today prepared for tomorrow?
Yes, of course. NU is the biggest organization, not only in Indonesia, but in the world. We have 5 million members. And we are, as Indonesian people, very, very lucky that we have an organization, not only NU organization. There is another organization like Muhammadiyah, Al-Wasliyah, and another. You can imagine a Muslim country, 12.9% total population Muslim in the world are in Indonesia. In Indonesia, 12.9% total Muslim in the world in Indonesia. And now every day we can see in the television, like in the Middle East, they are Muslim in Middle East, but they have not an organization like Indonesia. Like in Libya, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, and other countries. Indonesia have a big organization that can make a balance when it happen a problem in the country. We have more minister than the party have, and you have more minister than the party have. And also we have people representative more than the party have. We have governor, bupatis, and so on. That's why if any problem in this country, Indonesia, I just contact them. We can contact the members of NU who sit in Golkar Party. We can contact the members of NU in the Democrat, in the any other party. And then we can sit together in the office of Nahdlatul Ulama. And then we ask them, what is the problem? What do you want to be? What do you want to make Indonesia to the future? That's why Nahdlatul Ulama guarantee that Indonesia will be in peace and peace, growing and growing, inshallah. Like most of the people, Muslim people in Indonesia, they ask to the government, they should give the policy like the values of their religion. The values of Muslim religion is tasarruful imam ala ra'yah manutun bil maslahah. The public policy from the government must be, the orientation must be for the people better and better. It must be. How to get there? To get there, between the government and the people must be in connectivity. Connectivity between the people and the government. If the people need, for example, like in NTB or NTT, because the harbor over there is not enough. So when we want a cow, maybe just it will be cheapest if we take from the Australia, because in NTT island or NTB, the harbor is not as big as enough. That's why that the government should give the policy tasarruful imam ala ra'yah manutun bi al maslahah. This is Islamic teaching. Connectivity between the program with the people need. Connectivity between the program that the government want to make it the program should be connected with the island, one island and another island. Because Indonesia have 17 million island, Indonesia. And the total land in Indonesia, the area of Indonesia is 5,193,000 250 kilometers. This is the Indonesia. And then the population 250 million. And now, Indonesian people, of course, feeling increase economic better and better. And inshallah, Indonesia will be the 7th biggest countries in the world because we live together among others. Not only just Muslim as a majority, Nahdlatul Ulama. Also, we have another religion like a Protestant is 6.9% and Catholic 2.6% and another religion, Hindus, Buddhists. But we are able to live together. We are able, if we have a problem, we can discuss one religion with other religion. We can sit together. This is maybe that another Muslim country cannot do like Indonesian countries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think you touch on an important point, which is religious tolerance in Indonesia. Of course, I think the broad spectrum of Indonesian society and everyday Indonesians would respect other religions, but there are minorities within Indonesia who don't. And at times, those minorities unfortunately give Indonesia a bad reputation, let alone destroy property and take innocent lives. Terrorism, of course, militant Islam is a problem across the world, and I think it's an issue which not just Indonesia, but many other countries are also grappling with in the region. Maybe on that point, if I can come to Professor Kishore, how big is this threat?
You always come to me with difficult questions. Okay. Well, first, I will answer your question, but let me, I must say, reinforce a very key message that Pak Syuhud has made about Indonesia's culture of tolerance and openness. I mean, it's displayed every day. I mean, the fact is, if you look at Jakarta, which is the capital of the world's, most populous Islamic country in the world, about 20 years ago, when you came to Jakarta, you couldn't see any Chinese writing on the wall. It was not allowed. But today, you have a Chinese governor of Jakarta. That's an amazing transition that the world hasn't noticed. Yesterday, when I was driving around Jakarta, and I saw this wonderful statue, the Kuda Ramayana, the horses leading from a scene from Ramayana. And this is, again, the world's largest, most populous Islamic country. You have this incredibly large statue in Ramayana, which I don't see in India, by the way. So that's an example of the openness and tolerance of Indonesian society. And frankly, I actually think that Indonesia's historic mission in the next few decades is to be actually a role model for the rest of the Islamic world on how to be so open and tolerant in dealing with other cultures and civilizations. I say this because I think on the one hand, let's take the ISIL threat. It is dangerous, but it is still a small cancerous tumor. And that small cancerous tumor can be excised. It can be done. But what is worrying about ISIL is that if it just came from one or two countries, it would be a relatively small problem. But it's what's amazing is that you have young people educated in the United Kingdom, speaking better English than I do, coming forth and running and joining this organization. You have Australians, you have Indonesians, you have Malaysians, and it's amazing. So the question, therefore, which you have to ask is, what are the deeper roots of this anger that drive these people to sacrifice their lives? And that one, I think, is an issue that the world hasn't handled well yet. So while we need to speak about the values of tolerance and openness and diversity, we also have to acknowledge that there are lots of young, angry people out there, and we have to try and address that challenge. And I think is not going to be solved in the next 1 or 2 years. It will take for at least 5 to 10 years.